we're going to look at their current plan. And let's say this area up here at the top, this blue box at the top, are the assumptions we're going to make. So on their current plan, let's say I'm going to use a hypothetical couple at age 40 up here. They tell me they want to retire at 70 and start taking income at 71. We'll fill those in. So they're putting money in. They've been good savers in a qualified plan. Both husband and wife are saving. They've got an employee match. And so now it's important for me to level set with them. So most people are postponing their taxes to the future. They haven't taxed me later accounts, right? So it's nice to bring this up because, again, most people that are putting money in qualified plans don't understand that they're postponing both the tax and the tax calculation to sometime in the future as defined by Uncle Sam, right? And so most people are not aware of this tax risk. I had a guy that works for a pharmaceutical firm, got close to $1.5 million in his qualified plan. He's a PhD research scientist. He saw this and was shocked. No one ever told me this, Tom. People look at their statements, they think it's all their money, right? And it never was, it never will be if it's qualified, right? So what tax bracket are you in? And let's say this couple looks at the chart and says, and suddenly they'll come back here and say, oh yeah, we could be in the 36% tax bracket or the 40% tax bracket when we retire. The next step is plan fees. Like Mr. and Mrs. Jones, had you never met me, what kind of fees do you think you'd be paying? Forbes reports that the average mutual fund manager charges 4.17% in fees, which are not required to be disclosed to the account holder. You know, they at least think they're paying 4 or 5%. Let's say they say 4.5%. So now, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, let's say you never met me again. You're continuing down this path with your current plan, right? What kind of rate of return do you think you could get? So I pop up the S&P 500 for the last 22 years. So since 2000, if you were in the markets in the S&P using the buy, hold, and pray strategy, you would have made 5.5% compounded annual growth rate. And this is pre-tax, obviously, right? Because it's in a 401k. Right? Wall Street will promote that 7% as the mathematical average. We all learn in second grade, right? But what we don't learn in second grade is that it doesn't work very well. Averages don't work well when there are negative numbers in the grouping. Someone's being unrealistic and they want to put 10 or 12 or 14, make them prove it to you, right? Or ask them, you know, how they did in 2008, because we're averaging 2 major market corrections per decade, right? And we haven't had one in over 12 years or 13 years. So it's coming, right? And it's how you do in those market bad years that's critical. That's counterintuitive for most people. So again, you've got what you need. Let's say they put a number in here. I don't know, even 5%. Even if I think that's high, I'll let them get away with it. Now, the last question I have for them here is, you know, what kind of income do you think you need, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, to maintain your lifestyle in retirement? I want you to be able to visit your kids and grandkids, do any travel, golf, tennis, fishing, boating, whatever you like to do, whatever. You know, I want you to be able to do those same things. Maintain your current lifestyle in retirement, right? So a couple like this might say, a very typical couple like this might say, Tom, we could live on $150,000 a year. So they plug that number in. We plug that number in, and the dashboard is what this called, always gives these numbers you see here, like cumulative taxes and cumulative fees. All these numbers are based on this future age. So I'm going to go right to age 76, or excuse me, I'll go to 77, because they're running out of money, as you see down here at the bottom of the column, at age 76. So given the assumptions we've made, and these couple is good savers, they're going to save going forward. They've got a big match, right? They think 150,000 is conservative because they're making 250 or 300. They think I can live on the 150. You know, when we retire, that should be enough money. right? They're running out of money at age 76, right? And look, if they're blessed to live to age 77, they will have paid $1.7 million in fees alone. So, and the taxes they've paid are over $500,000, 571,000, right? So this is shocking to them because they're good savers. They're running out of money at 76. And this is sobering for most people. And here's an example. This should disturb them, right? And we haven't even talked about inflation, by the way. We do. Our system does inflation up here. You can put an inflated number in there, but you'll scare the crap out of them. And you can talk about inflation and the eroding power of their dollar. So at age 77, they're running out of money. So this couple realizes quickly, hey, we can work longer, but we're retiring at age 71, right? Maybe taxes won't go up as high, but they could go up higher. Maybe we could get a better rate of return. There are only a few variables. We could save more, but I assume if you could save more, you would already be doing that. Usually one of the spouses will say, oh, honey, we could probably live comfortably and pay our bills on $110,000 a year. Okay, if they can live on 110, that gets them to age 79. So we'll go to age 80 here, right? But look, if they get to age 80, they're blessed to live to age 80. Look at the fees they paid, $1.825 million. And that could be low. I think they're paying more in fees. The average couple I meet is paying more in fees that they don't know about, right? So, and look, they only got $1 million, $1.019 million in income after tax income from their qualified plan. Why is that? This is what they don't realize sometimes. Remember, Uncle Sam is your unintended and uninvited partner in retirement, right? You got this tax. They got to pull out $171,000 and pay tax on it, state, federal, and whatever other tax before this 110 hits their pocket. So look, AARP says here, Americans lose $17 billion a year due to bad retirement advice with hidden fees and unfair risk. Say, listen, most people are good savers. They're really good at what they do every day, but it is a matter of focus, not intelligence. And in the absence of a better idea, what do people do? They follow the herd. That's what they're doing in a 401k. It's not your fault. It's what most people do. Look, here's the guy, Jack Bogle, started Vanguard. They're the largest purveyor of mutual funds worldwide and widely regarded as the low-cost leader. He said, you put up 100% of the capital, you took 100% of the risk, and you only got 33% of the return. They're headed for the perfect financial storm in retirement with their current plan. They're running out of money at 79, and they're at best case, and they could easily be running out of money if some of these numbers go south. They could be running out of money much earlier, unfortunately, right? And we haven't even talked about inflation. And if you feel you need inflation, go ahead. Let's say they've said $110,000. You say, let's put 3% in here let's just put 2.5% for inflation in here. That means in tomorrow's dollars, down here at the bottom of the screen in yellow, they're going to need $236,000 a year when they turn 71. If we plug 236,000 in here, let's see how fast they run out of money. 236. They're running out of money at 74. So with inflation, this is probably a more realistic number. It's sad but true.